friends, welcome to the Kat Scrappiness YouTube channel. I am so delighted to be here with you to share this new Intertwined Hearts die, and I will also be sharing the Love You Sentiment die and the Taffy Pink Pearl mix, and I'll be using those on my cards today. Here you can see the beautiful stitch detail on those intertwined hearts, and this is a two-piece die set because it's also got a base piece for underneath. I wanted to share the nice vinyl envelopes that Kat Scrappiness has for storing slimline dies. They're a nice heavy vinyl, and you can get them with or without these nice magnet cards. It's a good solid magnet with a nice heavy piece of white cardstock behind it, and you can see how beautifully that die fits in there. And I always save the company name, and if I can fit it in there, I save the whole packaging piece that comes with it, and you can see I label my die with the name of the die. So this is a great 2-for-1 die because I die cut this out of pink. I die cut both die pieces out of pink and both of them out of red, so I'm going to end up with 2 cards here today for essentially the effort of 1. A tiny bit of extra effort for the extra die cutting, and that's it. So this measures 3 1/4 by 7 3/4, by the way. So I decided I've got 2 pieces of white cardstock here. I'm going to cut them both at the same time. I'm going to cut them down to 7 by 8 1/2. So I'm not going to cut the paper width at all, but I am cutting the length down to 7 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half, so my finished card piece will be 3 1/2 by 8 1/2. So this is really convenient to use, and I'm left with a nice 4 by 8 1/2 inch piece of white cardstock left that I can use for a card front on another card. So I did use my new Teflon bone folder. Kat Scrappiness just came out with that, and I'm just using liquid adhesive to attach the base piece for this die, and then I'm just adding some liquid adhesive to the back of the interlocked or intertwined hearts here. Now this does have a stitch detail, but for some reason the stitch detail does not show up very well on the red on camera. I don't know why. It doesn't show up in the photo that I took either, but in person you can see that stitch detail beautifully. I love the stitch detail because it adds a little bit of texture to your page, and I like that. So I'm really loving this color combination. I love how much white space I have here because this actually feels like a fairly clean and simple card. I don't know why I always strive to make clean and simple cards, but find it impossible to do because I like to add stuff. So it just, when it works out that it looks like a clean and simple card, I'm always happy. So I also have the Love You Sentiment die that was also just released as part of this Valentine's 2022 release on Kat Scrappiness. And I'm playing around with it to see, how do I want to use this? Do I want to use just the words? Do I want to do the pink background or the red background with this particular card? And I decide that I want to go with the pink background because it feels like it coordinates so well with the pink background behind the hearts, and then I'll use the red Love You. I did actually use my microfiber cloth to wipe off any excess glue when I put those hearts down, and I always have that next to me. Now, what am I searching for here? I am searching for my reverse tweezers. Kat does have reverse tweezers in her shop. I love these. These quickly became one of my very favorite tools for 2021, and they're just something I'm using. I'm literally now taking all the stuff I have out of my little tool organizer, which is really just a makeup organizer, and I can't find it. Lo and behold, I will discover that they are directly next to my left hand, off to the side there, within view. I don't know why I cannot see them. So I will keep searching because they are the easiest way. Here I go. I have found to add things like this, and that keeps me from getting glue on my hands. I'm actually allergic to that adhesive, so I try to be careful. So I do add this again with liquid glue. I love these tweezers because you can squeeze once to open them, and then it holds your whatever you're working on, and then you can put it down and you just squeeze again to release. So you're not squeezing it the whole time you're holding it, which makes me so happy. And I am in love with this white foam tape because this is 1/4-inch white foam tape, and I've forgotten the name of the brand that Kat has in her store. She's got a couple different ones. I believe this is, I want to say Scrapbook Adhesives, but I'm not sure if that is correct, if that's what that is. But I will link it below. I'm going to link everything I'm using here today from the Kat Scrappiness store. Everything will be linked below. So you can see I put aside my first card there, moved on to my second card. I'm loving this combination of the pink, the red, and the white. It just feels very bright and happy. I'm not sure why. On this one, you'll be able to get a good look at that stitch detail, and I love that detail. I just remember back to the days when if you wanted to add that detail, you need to do the paper piercing with the paper piercing tool and the foam mat, and you usually use some kind of template or something to get the stitching all straight or the holes all straight. So I love how easy it is with the dies. Here you can see I pull out my adhesive eraser to get rid of any little gunky adhesive that's squeezed out. And I always have that on hand. I treated myself to a new one a month or two ago because my other one was really old and gunky, and it had gotten pretty small because I clean it off by trimming it with scissors, so it gets smaller and smaller as I use it. So I treated myself to a new one of those. They're just a couple of bucks, and it's probably the thing I grab the most, so it's a good thing. So again, I'm adding liquid adhesive to the actual sentiment. There's no way I would be able to get foam on the back of the words, but I'm gonna again put foam on the back of that shadow piece. And Kat came out with a bunch of Valentine sentiment dies that are wonderful, and all of them have the script words with the shadow background piece, which I love because it doubles what you can do with the die. You can use it with the shadow piece, or you can use those words without the shadow piece, and it's just it's lovely. Like that stretches your stash. So I'm using these Taffy Pink Pearl Mix pearls. I have an embellishment tray there, and you can see how nicely labeled that bone folder is. I just love that little, I love having a Teflon bone folder. And I'm using a bunch of these. I'm scattering them around my cards. I like the little pearls. I feel like it helps pull your eye across the card, and I just love them. I love the detail that they add, and just think they are fun. So, instead of adding ink splatter, I did some embellishment splatter. Now, another organizing piece that Kat Scrappiness has, by the way, she has a really nice embellishment organizer. And I have that, and I think it holds 64 containers of embellishment, so you can really hold a lot in there. I have almost filled up one of those containers with all the beautiful pearl sequins and clay slice mixes that Kat has come out with in the last couple of months. I mean, they're gorgeous. It's so nice to have a nice collection of embellishments. So that completes my 2 cards, and you can see how easy it was to create those 2 cards with the right die sets and some pretty embellishments. So please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Kat Scrappiness YouTube channel. And make sure you click that bell so you get notifications every time we upload new videos. Thanks for watching, friends. Happy New Year.